offended and we haven't even started yet.
What are you offended by?
Well, because you said, sorry, I just unvelcroed your couch.
Let's put this on the ground.
Because you said, we're only going to be an hour.
Well,
what if I'm so fascinating that you two-part this like you did with Bobby?
Listen, you know what's funny is I feel like I'm being a burden to people by having them be on it. So you heard on that one, I was like, he's like, well, I didn't drive all this way to only do an hour. And I was like, oh my God. So with you, I was like, it's okay. It's only an hour.
I live in Hermosa Beach. It took me a day and a half to get here. I had to stop at 4 rest stops.
I just offered
and nap in the car.
My bed. I just offered you the spare room. You can stay over.
Let's keep things clean and cool here. Okay. You offered me the spare room. Your fiance is here.
We got a king size bed. We just talked about this.
We could absolutely head to head.
Yeah, we could do that.
I'll just
and
cozy
Matt's
right
small.
in the middle.
Like he doesn't move much.
I'll sleep like Jesus at the foot.
Wow.
Feet down, arms out.
But I find king size beds, they're not as long as they should be. Is yours long?
No, that's a California king. Cal kings are longer.
Oh.
Eastern kings are wider.
Oh,
and we're wider.
Yeah.
So we needed the wider.
I like the wider.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you want to give a little debrief of yourself? You want to give a little? I met Sharon in Groundlings. We became friends.
Yes.
And very funny. Do you call yourself a comedian?
Okay.
But she doesn't do stand up.
I don't do
stand up. But
stand-up.
you're a comedian.
I tried stand up. I think I was too old for it though.
Tell me about it.
I mean, seriously.
Everybody's fucking 23.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool. I got into it when I was 30.
Yeah. And by the time I got down here and doing stuff, I was like 43, 44 years old. Because I'm 52 now.
Wow.
So what am I going to do? Drive 2 hours to get, 10 minutes at an open mic?
No. You're not going to do that.
No.
No. So. Absolutely. Yeah. You're going to drive 2 hours for a 1 hour podcast.
It's going to be more than an hour. You've heard me talk enough. You know that it's like, I can't even get through an introduction in an hour.
You can't even do this. Okay. So I didn't know that you had daddy issues. We don't have to just talk about that the whole time, but I didn't know that you had them. Because you've always said great things about your dad.
Well, I think overall, my dad is like...
Will you talk like only because the room is echoey? Yeah, just a little bit closer. Ooh, that's nice.
I always talk fondly of my pops because he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He has his own issues that then bleed down into his treatment of his children.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I said, do you want to describe yourself? I guess... I mean, so that we can understand.
I'm like a personality.
Yes.
I'm on social media.
Do you want to say your social medias yet? Or do you want to say that for the end?
Sure. S. Fredrickson. Well, you put it in the podcast.
Yeah, I'll put it in the podcast. Okay.
Or in the notes.
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram and TikTok. I'm on a couple YouTube channels.
Yeah.
People versus Food. And React. I'm mostly known for People versus Food because I eat whatever I want and I can put a lot of food in my mouth in a very short period of time.
Okay. Do you swallow it or do you just shove it in your mouth?
Well, there used to be a 1-bite challenge where you'd have to put all the food in your mouth and then chew it up and swallow it.
Oh my God, I would choke.
I put an entire chicken sandwich in my mouth.
No.
I dislocated my jaw.
Way.
Commit, man.
You dislocated your jaw for real?
Yeah. Like I didn't do it on purpose. I have a bad jaw and it did it, but I just went for it because I needed to win. I needed the win. And so now you have like 1 second to put a bunch of food in your mouth and then it goes up to 6 seconds and then you eat it. And we just did one where they tried to trick me because I'm the reigning champ.
Okay.
And they did one, they tried to trick me and they brought in a professional eater.
How much does a professional eater get paid, do you think?
Probably more than me.
More than $200 a shoot. Absolutely.
So, but like the moment she walked in, I'm like, something's up. I fucking knew something was
Did
up.
she look like a professional eater?
No.
Wow.
No, she looked like you. She's built like you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And how is something even, I don't even understand how you become a professional eater.
She you've seen the hot dog eating championship?
Right,
That's a
yeah.
professional eater. So she, anytime you'll see something where it's like, if you can eat this in X amount of time, you win money or whatever. And she does that. And I knew it, I don't know, there was just something about her.
Fishy. Yeah.
Cause I see I'm not going to tell you how I knew because I don't want to give it away in case they try and do it to me again. I don't want them to know my secret of knowing.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
fuck. Okay.
See what I mean?
Do you think they're going to watch this?
You never know.
Oh,
Nikki,
damn.
you never know.
Okay. Was it a physicality thing or was it the way she was breathing? I just want to know if
It was the way she was breathing. Yeah. No, I just knew. I think there was just an energy.
Okay.
There was just an energy about it. Cause I was like, there was just something.
She was just speaking like the Cookie Monster.
She wasn't speaking.
She wasn't speaking.
That's the whole thing. I think it was like they're like, oh, this is a new reactor. And when they bring people in, they're typically like, oh my God, hi, how are you? This is really fun. And she was just like, hi.
Oh,
so
no
her energy
way.
was low. And I'm like, she either is going to suck at this or she's got something to hide. And she had some. I realized quickly that she had something to hide.
And did she beat you?
I fucking kept up with her.
No way. What were you
She
eating?
So the first thing we had to stick into our mouth in 1 second,
You know
had
that all the perverts out there.
I
when you're
know.
you know? Okay, but go on.
we had to put a Mickey Mouse waffle.
Okay.
We had to put the whole thing in our mouth in 1 second.
Okay.
And then it was
Okay.
but you mush it up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then it was I don't know. Two, what are the churros?
Churros. Yeah.
2 of those in 3 seconds or something like that. And then the very last one was, the big turkey legs?
Yes.
We had to eat that whole thing in 1 minute.
That's dangerous because of all the cartilage and the thin
we
bones.
tore all the meat off the actual bone.
Oh, okay.
And then it was go time.
Okay.
And I started going, she did it in 40 seconds maybe.
Really?
And I was like, I think I can do it. But there was this thing in my brain that I don't typically have that was like this, just stop.
Really?
Because I felt like I could do it because I knew what she was doing. You would just put them in small pieces and then you just swallow them whole. And I was like, there was just this thing in my brain that was like, just stop. Just
who you going to win for?
Right. But so they do it on a point thing and I lost to her by a half a point.
Oh,
and that was it. And she was like, that was
Impressed.
really good. She was impressed.
Did you think maybe that you should start now being a professional eater?
No.
Okay.
No, I like my amateur status.
The swallowing whole food whole is so dangerous because I have esophagitis. Have I ever told you that?
Yeah.
Where my esophagus closes up.
Yeah.
When I have for people who don't know what that is, it's
I keep forgetting that we have a camera on.
Yeah, you can say hi.
Is it live?
It's not even recording. I was just I just wanted you to think I was somewhat professional. Dress up for the camera. I can't if I have something that's whole, it will get stuck in my esophagus and then it won't go down. Normal people's esophaguses will finally open up and let it go down, but mine's sucker.
Well, what if you take an aspirin?
No, that doesn't work either.
You can't take a pill?
No. Oh, I have to take really small ones or I cut them up.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want to go through it. It's so painful. So if I could never do the fast eating. Oh my God. I would die.
Well, I went to the dentist just to, get my teeth
Sharpened.
cleaned and
So
right, exactly. I have special teeth. But I opened my mouth and he goes, "Ooh, wow, you have a big mouth." And I'm like, "Yeah," and it serves me well.
Can I see? Will you show them? It doesn't. I think it's a bit to see. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it didn't look that big at first.
Can you put like that? And then I got the wide chipmunk cheeks too, so you can stuff stuff in there. Yeah, it's a gift.
So this is
real
what
gift.
Sharon has been doing.
So this is what I do, and then I just I really feel like as a lesbian, this being able to put stuff in my mouth without gagging is a wasted skill.
It's very true.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you're not choking as a lesbo.
Yeah, no way. That's fine.
And if you are,
yeah.
that's a big...
you got to check the agenda. If you, they're keeping a secret from you if that's the case.
Right.
You know? I mean, it also sucks too because it's like, yeah, we were just talking about like, you know, you getting more shows and stuff and being on things. I'm like, well, you could have used your mouth if you weren't a lesbian. And
well, I mean, look, there's a lot of women producers that are coming up.
That's true.
So
yeah. You gotta have
call me.
I
can also hold my breath for a long time. So
yeah, you're like, if I'm down there, I won't come up for air.
Yeah, that's right.
So there you go.
Right.
Sharon Fredrickson, thanks for watching.
I don't need a snorkel. Thank you very much.
Thanks for tuning in. So that is where you are. That's great.
And then I also write. I wrote a movie.
Right.
That's being shopped right now called FBI.
Oh my God. Is it a kid's movie?
No. Well, when we first wrote it, it was very R-rated, and our manager was shopping it, and people were like, I don't think we're down to do an R-rated movie. So we wrote it to PG-13.
They weren't down to do an R-rated elf movie?
Christmas movie.
Oh.
Because it was like very much Santa was involved in.
But Bad Santa.
But that's a fake Santa.
Oh.
They were smuggling guns and drugs out of the North Pole.
Oh yeah, it seems like it's an unwritten rule that like no matter what the movie is, Santa has to be real. Like you can't have a movie out there that's like
North Pole can't be. I mean, we had a stripper
pole
at the North Pole at the south side of the North Pole.
Oh.
It was called the Naughty List, and they stripped on candy canes. So
sexy.
It was really hot. It was really hot.
Yeah.
So we had to change it.
You had to change it.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
That's what I do.
That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're a parent.
Yeah, but I mean, he's 23 now. So. I mean.
Nope. He's, she abandoned him.
What do I do?
You're too old.
What do I do at that point? Now it's just offer advice and get yelled at.
Oh, he yells at you.
He doesn't yell at me, but like he had this thing where he's like, he tries to be like, I'm all grown up now. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't need you to worry about that. That's my thing. And I'm like, really? Because last week I had to remind you that you have to wash your underwear. You know? Stupid stuff like that or whatever.
I find 23-year-old guys
obnoxious.
So cocky. It is crazy. Like when I was 25, I remember guys would like come up and be so confident. And I'd be like, you're 23, aren't you? And they'd be like, how'd you know? And I was like, just your essence. Yeah. Just like you with the food eating bitch. Like you know, I just could tell. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Well, and the thing is like he got his dream job right out of college. Yeah. And he's making good money.
Must be nice.
He's driving a convertible BMW. Yeah. I'm like,
oh my God, a convertible BMW?
Hardtop. Yeah. Living in San Francisco.
You're like, but look what I can do.
But can he put a chicken sandwich in his mouth in one bite?
Can't.
I don't think
Absolutely not.
So I feel like the parenting role has just
gone.
Yeah.
Damn. Until he gets his heart broken. Then you're back in.
Then I'm in.
Yeah, you should be sending people in to just, you know.
Break that heart, man.
Yeah. Does he date?
Yeah, he's got a them friend. I don't know how you say it.
I mean, you're the lesbian. You should know that.
Yeah, I know. Lesbians are still she. I'm good with she and he. It's when we get plural that I'm like, wait, what? I have a whole theory on that.
Do you want to say it?
I don't think that it's not bad.
Okay.
And look, by the way, if my theory is wrong, then it's not like I judge anybody. You know what I mean? Okay. Like if someone says I identify as they, them, then I'm like, okay, great. I don't have to understand it to respect it.
Okay.
But my theory is this.
Okay. Theory time.
And this is how I came up with it.
Okay.
When I was growing up, I knew women like my mom, real feminine. They would dress up, or like June Cleaver, you know, homemaker. Yeah. They would dresses, heels. There was a lot of women don't do this, women can't do that, you know, oh, you need to behave like a lady.
Yes.
So I was like, but that's not me. That's not how I act.
Right.
We didn't have the they, them.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be a guy. I never thought, well, unless I go into a dirty bathroom, then I wish I could be a guy.
Like a woman's dirty bathroom.
Just a dirty bathroom, then you can stand up.
Oh, yes. Okay.
That's the only time I want to be a guy.
Okay.
So I was like, the two I didn't know where I fit, right? And then finally it clicked for me where I was like, I don't have to fit their definition of what a woman is, because biologically, I got the titties, I got the vaggie, I got the chromosomes that make me a woman. It wasn't that bothered me. It was society's definition of what a woman would be. Correct.
Yes.
And so my theory is that people who roll as a they, them have either not felt comfortable enough to say, I want to transition.
Okay. Yes.
And they're not comfortable enough to say, I am going to redefine what a woman is or what a man is.
Okay.
Instead of trying to fit into what society's norm of what a woman is.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Because I remember like I went for a run and it was hot. It was like 5-mile run. And I come back and I'm just sweating like a beast. And I'm walking hands on my hips and I spit. And this guy, older man, and his wife were walking by when I did that. Now they were over here. I spit on the other side. It's not like I spit at their feet, right? Right. You got a problem with that, yo?
Oh, you don't like that? Well, guess what do you think of that now?
And he goes, oh, that's real ladylike. And I go, well, my tits tend to agree with you. It was very ladylike. Thank you very much.
That's so good.
Right?
What did he say?
Oh, well, I mean, he couldn't say anything. He was like, just kind of blah, blah, blah. So that's my theory, is that it's, I would imagine how scary it is to like say, okay, I'm ready to transition.
Yes.
And then it's
expensive.
Expensive. And there's a lot of stuff that goes around it.
Yeah.
And then it's also like hard to say I'm going to go against society's definitions, and a woman gets to be literally whatever they want.
Yes. Yeah.
Cause man, I feel like a woman.
Oh, shout out to Shania Twain,
Way to go,
the
Shania.
comedian. But then it's interesting because I'm like, but you did go against what you grew up with, those people in society, and I think you're closer to it, where younger people now, TV encourages, society or cultural entertainment, the entertainment world. I don't know. I can't think of the right word.
Well, when you don't have a lot of success in it, it's hard to come up with the words. That's why we struggle.
Yes. We like to drink. I drank last night. And I think that like you were closer to it, so that was even harder for you to go against it. Yeah,
I grew up in a real conservative Christian household.
Damn.
And so, but I think it was difficult for me. I do think it was easier for me because I have always been a tough chick.
Okay.
I mean, when I was 5, my dad loves to tell the story. When I was 5, I would introduce myself. Hi, my name is Sharon. I bet I can beat you up.
Okay.
I mean, where does that come from? Right?
Where does that come from?
I have no idea. And so I always kind of had this like tough shit attitude.
Wow.
I don't care what you think.
That's amazing. I'm jealous.
I would come out to people right away, even like in the early 90s. Well, I mean, I came out in 90.
Okay.
When I was 20.
When you were 20.
When I got together with Laura. That was my first.
And that was your first?
Yeah.
Well, you haven't lived. What are you doing?
I know.
The kids flung the coop. Like
I know.
Laura's great.
But yeah, I would introduce myself. I would come out right away.
You'd be like, "Hi, I'm Sharon. I'm a lesbian."
Pretty much.
Wow.
Because I didn't want to waste my time.
Interesting.
I didn't want to build a friendship.
Yeah.
Or a relationship with someone if I had to hide a portion of my life.
Wow. Interesting
Yeah.
that you thought that you also had to hide that portion, but that's the 90s, so that makes sense.
Right. Well, I think we live in California.
Yeah.
And so I get a lot of DMs from people saying how much they appreciate seeing me on whatever they see me on. And just, I'll just talk about my wife, Laura, or I'll talk about our son, Hunter.
Yeah.
Like it isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're
and
leading
it
the way.
means so much to them because they don't live in California. They live in red states where it's a little or small urban,
Yeah.
areas, small suburban areas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes a big difference.
And do you think that, like, with the people who are, like, growing up now that are they, them, like, are you, like, that's cool? Or are you kind of like, I would like to help and make you feel more comfortable? Or what do you think?
I don't think that I used to be somebody who was like, oh, come here, let me help you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get that from my father,
which we will
get into. But now I'm kind of like, I think I just live my life. And if I have something to offer and people are like, hey, can you talk about that? Then I do.
Okay.
But I don't want to like kind of force.
Step on toes.
Because I don't know where they're at in their life.
Yeah.
For me, I was like I said, I'm like pretty much a fuck you attitude.
Yeah.
And if you don't like me, great. I love Mary Tyler Moore said, your opinion of me is none of my business.
You have always had that that I've looked up to because I'm always like, oh,
right.
And you're like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, ugh, that's good.
I mean, you can't, right?
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, that's from coming from somebody that can beat everybody up is definitely.
I'm 52 now. I don't think. Now I pluck a nose hair and cry and be like, you win.
All the people that you said that to now are coming back being like, hey, kid, remember when you said that? Now try me, you fucking loser. Oh, no.
I remember this one kid my brother got bullied a lot. He was an older brother. And this kid was like 2 years older than me, a year younger than my brother. And he used to pick on my brother all the time. And we were like on the sidewalk and he was picking on my brother or whatever. And I just reared back and hit that kid as hard as I could in the nose.
No way.
Oh, it knocked him back.
Damn.
And I was all, leave my brother alone. And I turned around, I'm all, run.
You were like, I've been waiting for the day that I could finally do it.
Oh, yeah, man. Because, like, my brother was an asshole growing up. But, like, I can only call him an asshole.
Is your brother older or younger?
Older, 3 years older.
So do you think that when you were like, oh, I'm Sharon, I can beat you up, do you think it's because your brother had that, like, asshole mentality that you kind of had to, like...
No,
like,
I don't think so. I have no idea where it came from. I really don't.
Oh, my God.
Because, like, my parents were never abusive. My brother was more of an asshole as we got older.
Oh, interesting.
I think he was more of an asshole as we got older because he got bullied and I hung around with, like, I was a popular kid in school. I was a jock. Those are the type of kids that bullied him. Now, I didn't hang around with the people that bullied him, but I think he just saw that and so he sort of took that out on me. Yeah. I mean, you're kids, right? You don't know what the hell you're doing. Yeah. You're just being an asshole to everybody.
Mean to people?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially your siblings.
Yeah.
So I think that was just that.
Okay. Wow.
But yeah, I have no idea where that came from, but I'm glad it did.
I like it a lot.
I mean, I don't hate it.
You should get a t-shirt made with you on it and that phrase as a kid.
Hi, I'm Sharon. I bet I could beat you up. Yeah. Oh, I have the perfect picture for you. I'll show you afterward.
Oh my God,
it's the perfect picture for it.
Okay, so your dad, let's get into it.
I call him the Ricker.
Yes, you do call him the Ricker.
I do. But it's like I call him the Ricker when he's being that, like, fun-loving dude that I just love hanging out with, and then he's the Ricker, right? Like that's my jam, guy.
Is he fun-loving? Like, do you guys like drink together and stuff?
Yeah, we'll have drinks together. We play golf. Our big thing was he used to have season tickets to the Seahawks.
Oh, right.
And I'd go up there. One of my hands down best days, top 5 days of my life was we went to the NFC Championship up in Seattle. And the game started at like 3-ish. I swear to God, he and I are standing in my mom and dad's kitchen in our like jerseys and all, ready to go. And it was like 10 in the morning. And my mom's like, get out, just go. So we're like, okay. So we went to the country club. We had breakfast. We just had
You're like
such a
best
great
friends.
time. And then he's a total prick.
Really?
And then he can be like the worst and just take me down.
No.
Like nobody else can take me down.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like how so? When did it start?
I think he's, ever since I can remember, I was a daddy's girl.
Okay.
When I was sick, how kids, when they're sick or hurt and they cry, they just want their mom. I wanted my dad. And he didn't grow up in like a real lovey touchy household. When he left for Vietnam, his parents shook his hand.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's not like he's one of those guys that are like, come on, let me coddle you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not a soft soul. He grew up.
No. Yeah. And he got better, and so did his folks. But
well, Jesus Christ, you're going to Vietnam.
yeah, right. And they just didn't, because they just didn't. He was a rancher from Montana.
Okay.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're just not emotional folks.
Okay.
So when I would cry or whatever, I just want to be held by my dad if I was tired. And we bonded really, because my dad would work nights because he was in the Air Force.
Okay.
Low man, 2 stripes on his shoulders. So, he went into the Air Force out of high school.
Wow.
So we were poor.
Whoa.
And he was working nights. And my mom, he'd come home from work and my mom would put me in bed with him when I was a little baby. So I think maybe that bond's formed there, but...
And when he came home, like what time would that be at?
So it'd be like first thing in the morning. So as a little baby, they just
That's
sleep
the
all
bond.
the time.
Yeah. Okay, so then that's how you formed the bond.
I guess.
Did your brother have the same kind of bond with him?
I don't think so. And part of it is because he went to Vietnam when when my brother was only a year old.
Oh, okay. Fuck.
So, and he was gone for a whole year.
Damn.
And there was no emails. There was no cell phone. My mom talked to my dad 2 times when he was gone.
Wow.
And it was over a ham radio. So that meant you would go, hi, how's Tim? Over.
Wow.
Yeah. And she saw him 1 time.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
What?
So I don't think that they were able to form that bond.
So, and also, do you think he was a prick? Did your mom say if he was a prick before Vietnam or after?
Well, he had a cushy job. He worked with computers. And so he was even in an air conditioned office. So his time in, I know, right? His time in Vietnam wasn't spent in the jungle. So his time in Vietnam looked way different than some of the stories you see on TV. You know
He was
what I
like,
mean?
yeah, at the bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was just having a time.
But he did have, he was on the bus to go home, to take to the airport to go home, and he forgot his briefcase up in the office, and he ran up to go get it. When he was up there, some kid rode his bike and threw a hand grenade into the bus.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Nobody died, but there were people that were really, obviously injured from a hand grenade going off in a bus.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like the last episode, Bobby was talking about what would have been his aunt getting blown up, and then this. So much going on.
There's a lot of blown up.
A lot of blown up is happening.
That's why when you're talking to Gen Xers, we got different stories.
Yeah, I like the story.
We got different stories, man.
People are like, oh, I thought you meant blow up like on Instagram.
Right,
Did you blow up on social media? Okay, so you were very close to him, and when did he start to be? But you can take me through the timeline.
Yeah. So as a kid, I was always into sports, and he loved sports, and so he was always down. I played when I was young. I played catcher.
Okay.
And I was one of the few kids at 8 or 9 years old that could make the throw from home to second.
Okay, stop bragging. Okay.
I mean, don't mean to toot my own horn, but beep, beep. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
But it was because he would help me and he always was looking to better himself. So I don't remember a time that he wasn't going to work in the Air Force and then going to school or working a second job.
Right.
So,
wow. Okay.
but he was always like, if I was like, hey dad, can we shoot some hoops or play catch? He's like, I got 10 minutes. Let's go do it.
Oh, damn.
So, but when I got into high school, I think that kind of was this weird transition because I stayed who I was, which, you know, future lesbians were called tomboys back then, right?
Okay. Okay. Right? All right.
And so I stayed who I was. And I think there was an element of, it's time to settle down a little bit. It's time to calm down of who you are. You're still this like hyper, running around, having a good time. My mom and dad were always, well, my mom was always accusing me of doing drugs.
And were you?
No, never. I never did drugs in high school. I never did drugs because I played sports.
Right. That's
and
true.
I didn't want to get kicked off the team.
Yeah.
And I got scared of being kicked off the team. So.
And also like your dad was like, well, if he started when he was 12 as a, like was he a fighter pilot when he was, no, Air Force.
Oh my
when
God. He wasn't a fighter pilot and he wasn't 12.
What did you say?
Canadian weirdo.
I don't know much about
After
the war.
high school, he joined the Air Force.
What happened when he was 12?
Nothing happened when he was 12.
No, I'm
sure something happened.
I'm getting something.
Whatever.
He was molested when he was 12. That's what it was. He just hasn't told you yet. Okay.
Right,
go on.
right,
yeah,
right,
okay.
right.
But what I meant was like, yeah, if after high school, then that's when he would have settled down.
Well,
right?
I mean, he was very responsible. He was working on a ranch growing up.
Right,
and then he went straight from ranching life to the Air Force. And my parents got married when they were like 20.
Damn. Yeah.
After knowing each other for 3 months.
Damn. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a year later, they had my brother. And a year after that, he's in Vietnam. And I mean.
And they're still together.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I know. So they just had this different life. And I was always this like rambunctious, fuck it, we'll figure it out.
Probably very
Sports,
positive.
very positive.
Yeah.
They're very negative people.
Oh,
no. It drives me crazy.
Oh, no.
Like their motto is expect the worst. And if the good happens, then you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Oh no,
and
that's the hardest type of parent to grow. Well, no, there's worse, but you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's very hard to get out of that thought pattern.
It is. And I was very positive and I was self-assured.
Yes.
My dad is very insecure.
Oh.
So when he sees my self-assured as cocky, not confidence, he's there to bring you down a notch.
Ooh, damn.
My very clearest first memory of bringing me down a notch was a freshman in high school. We had a basketball tournament. I got high score, high rebounds, and high assist for the whole tournament. So it was a big deal. I played a good several games during the tournament.
I didn't know what like an assist and like, thinking what a rebound is.
Do you know? Okay, so an assist is like if I pass you the ball and you score, that's an assist.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I was, you are really on it.
Do I look like I'm a sports person?
No, but I mean, these are kind of basics.
I know hockey, okay?
Okay, well, you should know what assist is then.
Yeah. Oh, a hockey assist. Oh, okay, I get that.
Same thing. I get in the car with my trophy. And he goes, you know what you need to work on?
No.
Yeah.
Oh my, he never let you have it.
Never let me have it. It was very, very, we need to make sure you're not too big for your britches.
No.
That's, yes. Yep.
did that affect you later in your life?
So much so. I realized that have worked so hard to try and make him proud of me.
Oh, no.
And there's literally no way that I could do that.
Oh,
In
no.
fact, one of my biggest adult lessons that I ever learned, and if I could teach one person something, it would be the thing that I realized is I worked so hard to make him proud of me, and it never one time made him happier. And it made me more and more miserable.
Wow. Damn.
If you work to try and please someone else, it will never make them a happier person. And it will make you more and more miserable. We, in fact, as a parent, we really try and stay away from saying, I'm proud of you.
Oh, good.
And we say, you should be very proud of yourself.
Okay. I'm like, all right, this is intense.
Yeah.
Because I guess I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, well, if you try and make someone proud of you, but what if they do, I'm like, is this just your story, or have you seen this in other places where, like, even if you make someone proud of you, it won't make them happier? Or is it just your dad?
I think I've seen this in other places too, because if you're working towards something,
Yeah.
That's different than what you want, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if a person needs you to do something that doesn't make you happy,
Yes, to be happy. Yeah.
then they're not happy.
Yeah.
And you doing something and you being unhappy isn't going to make them happy.
What was the thing you did?
My career, if I had it to do all over again, I would have walked across, because I didn't go to college.
Okay.
I would have walked across that stage in my high school and got my high school diploma with a fucking backpack on and throwing it into like a truck or something and gone exploring.
Okay.
I would have come down to LA much sooner. I would have...
It's always a big regret.
Yeah. I would have instead I went the corporate route.
Okay. What'd you get into?
I got into, my first job was as a customer service rep for a cellular company, which was a big deal at the time.
Okay.
It wasn't like it is now.
It wasn't an assist or rebound.
It was a pretty heavy assist.
Oh, I'm learning a lot today. Okay.
And then my last job, I was the director of training and development.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, I really worked my way up.
Yeah.
And I remember driving home. And so then now we have a house in the suburbs that was a big house.
Yeah. Okay.
A big house.
How many beds?
It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath office. So it was brand new build. It was like 3,000 square feet.
Okay.
For 3 of us?
Yeah.
That's a big house.
That's a big house. Yeah.
And now look at the house we're in. And we're so much happier.
Yeah. It's
so
a house.
It is.
Yeah.
I remember driving home from my corporate job to my big house in the suburbs and crying.
No.
Going, I guess this is my life.
No way.
And I did that because that was the path that my dad, who I was always trying to make proud, because I was a daddy's girl. I mean, if I can make one person proud of me, it's going to be the Ricker. And so I was constantly trying to do that. And then that made me miserable. And it impacted my health.
Really?
It impacted...
How so?
Oh, I went from this athlete to 250 pounds.
Whoa.
I was smoking.
No.
I was drinking. I mean, I was filling the void with food, booze, and nicotine.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because he hadn't, when you were doing that, had he ever said, hey, great job? Or still, no, I'm proud of you?
I remember, so to get that customer service job, You went through 5 interviews to get that customer service job. And the last one was with the director of the call center. And I remember they had 5 positions opened, I think, and they interviewed 120 people. And 3 of us got 3 jobs. They didn't even fill all 5.
Damn.
And it paid $10 an hour.
No.
Which 94.
I
know you were
really
2.
young then.
Whatever.
I was not 2. But I was close to it.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's what they pay now almost.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
pay
yeah.
not much more.
That's true. You know what? That's a good point. That's
Yeah.
minimum. Yeah.
I think minimum wage right now is 15, and that's what you're going to get as a customer service rep. And we had benefits. You know how much my benefits cost for medical, dental, and vision? $10 a month.
Wow. Okay. So you were living.
I was making good money, man.
Yeah.
And I worked, it was not easy getting that job.
Yeah.
And the first thing...
What did the fricker say?
Oh, you fell into a bucket of cream. I'm like, I didn't fall into this. I worked my ass off to get this.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it was never I worked. It was never I have never that I can remember heard, I am really proud of how hard you worked.
Should I make this a clip, post it, tag you, and make it get back to him so he can finally tell you that he's fucking proud of you?
No, because I don't want to make him mad.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
So have you ever said anything?
You cannot say things. Both my parents, they have cut me off. I will tell you, this is one of there's a lot. Laura's dad fell, and he's got dementia.
Oh, no.
And he fell and hit his head.
Let's not make this too depressing.
I know.
Let's just... Okay, go ahead.
Let's lightheartedly talk shit trauma.
Yeah.
Can we take our trauma lighthearted?
Did he go boing?
Yo.
Oh, I'm a zombie. Oh my God, that's great.
It's adorable. The brain bleed that he got was so adorable.
God. Tastes good. Okay.
And it's during COVID, so he goes to the emergency room on his own.
Okay.
He was in the hospital for a week. And we drove down there immediately. And Laura's mom had to stay because of COVID. She couldn't go in the ambulance with him.
No.
So we drove down there immediately. I stayed for a week. I mean, I'm not great in a crisis, if someone needs a hug.
Yeah.
If you need me there emotionally and stuff, not great at it.
Yeah. I'm good at advice, but I won't rub your back.
But I'll repair your roof. I'll put a new fucking roof on your house. And so that's what I did for a week. I literally repaired their roof.
Oh my God.
I put handrails everywhere in the house.
Oh.
I mean, I handicapped accessed the shit out of that house in that week. And then I left and came home because I had work to do and left Laura there.
Okay.
She was there for 3 weeks.
She fell, hit her head on the railings.
She hit her head there on the railings. I'd take them all down. I go back, and you know this story. I go back, I bring both of our dogs, and then our dog that was living on borrowed time got super sick, and I had to turn around, drive back home, and have the dog put down. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember because you texted me, or I texted you.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck,
and you're
so
like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm ugly crying. And you're like, well, I'd love to see that.
Yes, right. Yes.
Because that's how it's the best.
Yeah.
That's why I reach out to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in my worst, I'm like, oh, I could call Nikki.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to be that sentimental, but I'll make fun of you.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
And I drive back. Laura's mom has asked me to put in a new garbage disposal.
Okay.
I've just been dealing with all this shit.
Yeah, Laura's mom's pushing it a little bit, Come on.
So I'm frustrated. I'm trying to put this new garbage disposal in. I just put the dog down. Bitch just been without Laura for a month. Everything's going on. And my dad texts me and he's like, hey, your mom could use a phone call. And I go, I know, I haven't talked to her in a couple days. I was going to call her either tomorrow or the next day because I was going to go have dinner with a friend. I was going to call her on my way. And he's like, never mind. I'll take care of it.
What? What?
Yeah. So I sent back, I have a lot of shit going on and I can't deal with passive aggressive right now.
Good for you.
Didn't talk to him for a month.
No.
Every time I would text him, it was one word answers. And
Like a child.
Like a child.
Like a teenage.
And he says, when I finally said, what's going on? He's like, I'm too old to have to deal with stuff like that. And I'm like, you have to deal with that? No consideration what I was going through. No consideration what Laura was going through. None of that. But because I didn't stop what I was doing, pick up the phone and make a call, he was pissed at me. And then called him on it. And then he's pissed at me.
And was your mom still talking to you? Or was she mad that you didn't call her?
She was mad that I didn't call her.
Still?
Oh, yeah. I had to call her to the next day when I was on my way to dinner. I called her.
And why did she need a phone call?
Because she gets dramatic. She makes everything about it. She's very narcissistic. She makes everything. This is how my parents could not listen to this. This is how bad she is. We were in the backyard yesterday or Sunday, and a news story came on that a seaplane had crashed in Seattle.
Okay.
And like one person was.
Your dad used to fly.
No, he never. Air Force, you don't necessarily fly planes, you weirdo. So this plane crashed. One person was dead. 6 people were missing.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oof, that's tough. Because if you're missing in the sea, you're probably
gone.
dead.
Yeah.
And Laura goes, ooh, I wonder if your mom's okay. Because she literally makes everything about her.
Oh my God.
And then she gets my dad on her side, and he doesn't want to deal with it.
So then he calls
he calls me to deal with it. If I don't deal with it, then he's mad at me and won't talk to me.
Holy shit. That's a lot.
That's a
There's
lot,
a lot
Nikki.
going on.
Nikki, it's a lot.
And I feel like people that watch this that have abusive parents are like, it's the whole thing is that's worse for sure. But the mental games when parents play them is we don't know how to get out of the web. That's a problem. You're just in the web. When you're saying, I hope they don't see it. How old are you?
I'm 52 years old.
And you're scared of you're scared of your parents watching this?
I am scared of my parents. You know why? Because it takes so much work.
Yeah, exactly.
When I make them mad, it takes so much work on my part.
Yeah.
To get out of trouble and get them talk. My mom and I went 9 months without talking one time.
Oh, wow.
9 months.
Was it the best 9 months of your life?
Oh, it was pretty peaceful, let me tell you. It was pretty fucking peaceful. And so this is what's so hard, is there's all of these horrible bad things, and then the record comes out.
Okay, so how often... from which we call the Ricker that when he's not the Ricker, what is he?
He's dad. Yeah.
Oof.
I'm like,
okay.
Dad, my dad.
Okay. So percentage wise, how often is he dad? How often is he the Ricker?
I will say pre-election.
Okay.
Pre-Trump. And he's a conservative who voted for Trump.
Okay.
So pre-Trump, I would say it was a 60-40 the Ricker. 60% the Ricker.
Okay.
40%
dad. Okay.
Since the election, it's about 30-70. 30% the Ricker, 70% dad.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, it's tough.
This is like an abusive relationship, like an emotionally abusive relationship.
Where
you're like, but the good times are so good.
It absolutely is.
And now do you think that he's got you pegged down to like what will make you insecure? What will make you be like, oh, like that he'll just know when to take you down?
Oh, he does. Oh, you want to hear a really horrible story?
Yeah, let me make sure the camera's still going, but you can start to tell it.
So when I was at my heaviest weight, 250 pounds. That's a lot of bulk to be carrying. And ain't none of it was muscle and ain't none of it was big bone girl. Okay. I mean, it was all fat.
And when was this? This
was
when you were upset?
I mean,
working?
This was like years ago.
Okay.
I'm talking like, let's say 20 years ago.
I didn't know you then.
No, you didn't know me then. It was well before we knew each other.
I'd be like, hey.
You'd be like, you need to get off your ass. Yeah. You need to take care of that.
Yeah, okay.
I was going to start running.
Okay.
And I said something to him about that. So we go visit them, and he says, hey, and he was running at the time. He says, hey, Sharon, you want to go for a walk? Or we should go for a run. I go, no, I'm not going to go for a run with you. And he's not a big guy. He's always been pretty leanish.
Okay.
I said, no, I'm not going to go for a run with you. I run way too slow, and I'm too self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
So he says, let's go. No. He says, all right, well, let's go for a walk then. I said, okay. So we went for a walk and everything, and we're like 2 blocks from the house. He says, well, why don't we run back? And I said, Dad, I run too slow, and I'm so self-conscious.
Oh my God, he's coming for you.
He's coming for me. And he goes, it's just us. So I start running.
No.
You know what that motherfucker did? Hopped next to me on one foot.
No.
Hopped next to me.
No.
So immediately I stop and just everything drops on me, right? My spirit, everything. And he laughs and he goes, oh, Sharon, you are so easy to tease. I'm like, I literally bared my vulnerability to you and you stomped on it. Yeah.
Oh,
it was.
That's fucking evil.
Evil.
Did you cry?
Oh, no, I can't cry. I won't cry in front of him.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is evil.
It's so rude.
What?
I can't even fathom doing that to my kid.
What do you think? I was going to analyze him and be like, what do you think? Why is he doing this? Like, do you think there's any part of him that's like jealous of your life?
I don't think that he's jealous of my life, but like I said, I think he has this insecurities and he thinks I get too big for my britches. And I think he just thinks it's his role to bring me down a couple notches. And I always think I wonder what I could have done. I used to think, what could I achieve if the guy I admire the most wasn't constantly bringing me down?
Yeah. Seriously.
And then I go, fuck him.
Yeah.
I don't have to get his approval.
Now you know that.
Now I know that. But it's still...
But you still don't want him to see it.
But it's easy for me to say I don't want him to see it because they don't even watch or read my stuff.
Yeah.
They don't watch or read my stuff.
Yeah. So you're like, what's difference does it make? But so where did it get in the way of you as a creative? Or, well, yeah, you would have moved to LA, but what about like your relationships? Or like, do you hope Laura says she's proud of you? Like, were you seeking that in other people? Or are you a bit more like, I don't need it because I grew up without it?
I think I was I don't need it. I will say that what it did for me, it hurt our relationship.
You and Laura.
Oh, yeah. We broke up at one point.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, as you should. She was your first. You had to get out there a little.
Well, the biggest thing was I had myself become insecure because I was in this corporate job and I was making good money. I had artificial pride in myself.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Materialistic pride. Yeah.
Yeah. Look what I have. I have a jet ski. I've got a car. I got a house. I got I can make it rain if I needed to.
Right. I mean, a jet ski is impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't mean to brag, but we had an annual pass to the Folsom Lake. So
to the what?
Folsom Lake. It's the lake up in Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
You know, if you know.
I may not know an assist.
It's not really a brag.
Okay.
So I had those things and this is it, right? I had reached that point in my life where my dad should have sat me down and said, I am so proud of everything that you have achieved. I am so proud of you. Look at you with this great house. Look at you with this great job. Look at you making this money.
Yep.
This is, and you have no debt except for the mortgage.
Yeah.
I am so proud of you. And not one time did he say it. It was still, you better, are you doing this? Are you doing that? It was very much of what I wasn't doing.
Always.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that it was empty. And so then I was like, you know, anytime I was getting like any type of attention, I was like, what's up? And so
What do you mean?
Well, I would go to, so I was getting attention from other women.
Okay.
And I wasn't,
no, you just liked getting, you weren't
the
cheating.
attention. And so I thought, hey, there might be a different life out there.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah. And I thought, well, maybe I'm not supposed to be in this relationship.
Okay.
And I think that, you know, Laura being 8 years older than me, I think, you know, I was 31 years old.
Yes.
I'm making great money, all of this stuff that I was saying. And then I would go to the bar and people are like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing just good. You know what I'm saying? And so I thought, maybe she's holding me back. Maybe I haven't reached where, because I'm not happy. I've on the outside looking in, it was everything's supposed to be, why aren't you happy?
Yeah. And also you think that it's because now of your relationship, because it's
everything else was fulfilled.
Yeah. You're living with the life that you thought your dad would want you to live. So yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And so I was like, you know, I think we should probably take a little break here. So we broke up.
Was she like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, the relationship was bad. I think I sabotaged a lot. Look, she had her own part in this breakup also, of course, because it's not ever going to be a one-sided thing. Okay. You know what I mean?
Like, you know, I want to know what that is, but
I'm not going to say it on here. I mean,
okay, I'll bring Laura on next episode and we'll hear the truth.
Yeah, right. Get her in. Yeah, this right here is Laura's comfort zone. Totally. She'd be like, I don't know. But yeah, so we broke up. We sold the house.
Wow.
I mean, it was a big deal.
Had you had Hunter yet?
Yeah, he was 3.
Oh my God. And
just turned 3.
How long did you break up for?
We were only broken up for a year, thankfully.
But that's still a long time.
It is a long time. It is a long time.
And did you go and get some more attention?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so
this
now
whole
I'm
joke
like,
that I've been saying is like actually true.
Right. So like Laura was my first, but she wasn't my only.
Yeah.
I got a lot of work done in that year.
Oh.
Got a lot of work done in that year.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. You got a lot of work done.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Very successful.
Yes.
Woman.
So then I'm like, literally everything.
Now everything checked.
Now everything.
Yes.
Is checked.
Yes.
In every box.
Yes. All the boxes.
All the boxes are checked. And I'm like, still miserable.
Damn.
Still miserable.
Right.
And then I did a lot of work on myself and realized that they weren't my boxes that I created that got checked. Yes. Because I looked at like, if I were to design my life, what would it look like?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it would look like this over here. And like 2 of them, Laura and Hunter. And so thankfully I went back to Laura and she, you know, we worked it out and everything. And I was like, I have to completely redo my life.
Whoa. Yo, because it's like, when I'm like, oh, did it affect your relationships? Yeah.
It affected everything.
It was the root cause of your whole life and being on the wrong path.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
Do you have resentment?
No, I don't think so, because I don't think that. No, I don't have resentment.
Because he doesn't know. And it's also like,
had I not gone through that, I wouldn't have had the self-discoveries that I did. And I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't have those experiences. And so having those experiences allowed me to have some of the successes that I have today.
Yeah.
And I think had I moved down here at 23, 21, 22, whatever.
You would have checked so many boxes that your box would have.
Oh, been overflowing.
It would have. You would have had to buy more storage.
Totally.
For your inbox. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that I potentially, if I had the success that I have now in this industry at that age, I would have been a raving asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you were sharing.
Yep.
I'll beat you up.
That's right. Yeah.
So then it's like, well, then is your dad right in a way? But not to that extent.
No, because Hunter is not a raging asshole.
Right.
And I raised him in a way I thought to be productive and helpful. I mean, I'm sure we fucked him up because all parents fuck up their kids.
Yeah.
But it was very much, you should be proud of yourself. When we were talking of having a kid, our biggest thing was like, we need to raise him with self-confidence.
Right.
Because then they can stand up to bullies. Then they can stand up to peer pressure. Then they can, go out on a limb and try things. And when he called us up from college and was like, I'm going to major in video game design, we're like, that's amazing. Yeah. How do you feel about that? And And we hung up. We're like, are you fucking kidding me? Video games? What's this kid going to do in video games? And now he has his dream job in a video game, right?
Yeah.
And so it's so funny because my mom said one time, everybody's a teacher. And sometimes they will teach you what not to do.
Okay.
And I think my parents at times taught me what not to do.
For your own kid.
For my own kid and for my own life.
Yeah.
The Ricker taught me a lot of really good things too. I have a lot of fun with him and amazing memories.
Yeah.
But now he's teaching me, he very much put his worth to his job. He worked very, very hard. I mean, they went from like super poor to very wealthy.
Right.
And that was all hard work. There was zero inheritance from that. We will not say the same of me when my parents pass. And we won't say the same of my brother. And we will not say the same for Hunter.
Yeah.
That'll be inherited wealth, right?
Yeah.
But he worked very, very hard.
Yeah.
And which is great.
Yeah.
Until he retired. If you put all your worth into work and then you retire, you have no worth.
So what happened when he retired?
He became a dick.
That's when he became a dick.
Well, that's when he slowly started going from 70-30, 60-40 down to 30-70. And then the election just sent it way down like a anchor.
Damn.
Yeah. And as the further away from work he gets, the worse it is.
And then the more confidence, the more you are becoming aware of the effect that he has on you. So now you're probably like setting your own boundaries.
Right.
So he's literally losing all of his.
He's losing, like I used to be very much, I'm not a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Unless it's him.
Yes.
I'm always trying to make things better. I'm trying to lighten the mood. I'm trying to do this and that. And now I won't even go there.
Wow.
If he's in a mood, I just walk away.
No way.
When we were up there just last week, we were up there and he brought up politics. I mean, he always will bring up politics because we're so different.
Yeah.
I don't even bite.
Good for you.
Yeah. But it's sad to me because I'm constantly walking on eggshells.
Yeah. Like, to give me an example.
Well, I mean, I have to know what the mood is. I have to know what the temperament, what is his temperament? He's so fucking moody.
Yeah.
So what is his mood? What is he going to bring up? Here's another story.
Okay. That's why I'm like, yeah.
Here's another story. My aunt It's his cousin. They're very close. They're like brother and sister. I call her my aunt.
Okay.
She had a bum foot and she moved from her house to an apartment up in Seattle.
Okay.
And I'm like, do you need some help? Can I come help you?
I can put in some railings. I can
put
fix
in
your
railings.
carburetor.
I unpacked, hung pictures, things like that. Both my parents got royally pissed at me.
Really?
Yes. And I have no idea why they were mad at me. To this day, I have no idea why they were so mad at me. And my dad called me up and he's like, I want you to know that your mother is absolutely bawling. And I'm like, why? And he goes, she's crying so hard, I had to go for a walk. I'm like, that's your problem.
Yes.
I didn't say this, but I'm like, that's your problem. Shouldn't you stay there with someone who's totally bawling?
Yes.
You know? If Laura was totally bawling, I'm not going to be like, you're so upset, I'm going for a walk.
No, you're like, oh, this is concerning.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, he's like, you need to fix this. I go, I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah. Wow.
So they never explained what was wrong.
No.
When I came to their house, so I helped her for a couple days and then went to their house for 2 days and then came home. My dad is bitching and moaning about my aunt. Both of them are. And I'm like, but what does that have to do with me? And he goes, maybe we took that out on you and shouldn't have. But anyway.
No.
And that was it.
Oh my God.
Not sorry. Not, oh yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the accountability thing. It's like he doesn't want to take accountability.
No.
Because I bet you something happened with them. I'm like, well, they've been together since they were 12.
Right. There's the 12.
There's the 12.
When he was a fighter pilot.
So they've been together so long, and then they probably have their own shit, and then he's just blaming you.
Yep.
Because he doesn't want to take accountability or whatever it is.
Correct. I'm the punching bag of the family.
Oh my God.
I am the punching bag.
That is not okay.
When I did my last show at Groundlings, my parents came down for it and I was like, oh no, I did not want them there.
Oh my God. I was going to say, because you always spoke highly of your dad. That's why when you came to the podcast, I was like, what? I thought you like him. But so when he's coming, I was like, oh, that should be a good thing. But this does not sound like a good thing at all because he'll ruin the mood.
So my mom, day of, 2 hours before, says she's sick.
No.
Yep.
Of course she is. Of course she is.
Of course she is.
Yes.
And my aunt and her friend, Laura, my dad, and our neighbor are all in a car and they're driving. And someone says something about my mom being sick and my dad goes, she's not sick. She's not sick. So do the show. You know, the next day is stressful because first of all, you've got post-show blues.
Yeah.
And now you're like, I'm going to get a phone call.
Yes. It's not a fun experience.
Nope.
There's nothing fun about it.
My dad was sick the day they landed. He got really sick to his stomach, was throwing up stuff. My mom said she got it. So she calls me up or texts me and says, when should we come over? I'm like, if you're sick like dad was, then it's contagious.
Yeah.
I can't afford to get sick. Laura can't afford to get sick.
Yeah.
No response. I then get a phone call from my dad who says, hey, I'm on a walk and mom thinks everybody's mad at her. Can you call and fix it?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, wait, but you probably got mad at her. Can you call and fix it?
Can you call and fix it?
That's all he gets you to do is call and fix things.
Yes.
It's your relationship.
Right.
When do you get to have your own relationship?
I don't.
You should have called him when you and Laura broke up and been like, hey, I just broke up with
trauma from you. Can you go and fix it?
Yeah, I chose wrong life and I dumped my wife and I checked all the boxes and I didn't like them. Could you call and fix it?
Yeah, totally. Right. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We were in Hawaii. So we all go to Hawaii.
That's nice.
Yeah. Never again. Okay. Never do another trip with my parents again. Never, ever, ever.
Yeah.
We go to Hawaii. We go to a football game, Seahawks game. That's our thing.
That's when the Ricker comes out.
Not this time. This was post-Trump. And now he's mad because he's seeing that this guy's a dick, right? And so now he's in dad's mind, he's wrong. And we have a saying at our house, you can be right or you can be happy, but you can't be both.
Okay.
So if you get into this thing where you're arguing to be right, you got to make a choice. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Yeah.
And we choose happy.
Yeah.
People come up to me and be like, 2 + 3 is 4. I'm like, great, man. Have a great day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
If that's what you want to believe, great.
I have no reason to argue with them.
Yeah.
My dad's like, oh, I would rather be right than anything.
Okay.
So when he found out Trump was the POS that he is, he was wrong. That sent him that's what made him slide so hard.
That is wild.
And all he would do when we were at the football game, at the bar watching the football game in Hawaii, all he would do is bring up politics. No matter how hard I tried to deviate from the subject. And I said, can we just please watch football? And he kept going about the kneeling of the flag thing and stuff. And finally, I just started bawling.
What? You cried?
I couldn't take it anymore. Yeah, I just started bawling. And it in a bar. And he's like, I'll just pay for these drinks. And I told the bartender, I go, don't let him pay for my drink. And so he's like, sorry, it's ladies' rules. And so he left and left me there crying. And now, like, this woman is sitting next to me and she's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm not okay, man. You know?
And then he calls your mom and is like, hey,
Can you fix this? Yeah, right. So that's how that went.
Whoa. And then when did you talk again?
That was in beginning of October. We didn't talk again until Thanksgiving. And it was because of me.
Because you had to make the amends.
Because I had to fix it. And I had to say, your relationship is too important
oh my God.
to me for this. I can't not have you in my life. This is too painful.
And what did he say?
He just called and was like, so happy Thanksgiving.
I can't.
Yeah. Yep.
Honestly, I'm going to be like, you're pretty normal, considerate. Like, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you still got a lot of confidence.
I do, man, in spite
surprised.
of. I'm telling you, though, had you met me 15, 17 years ago, we'd be having an entirely different conversation. I don't think you would hang out with me.
Because you wouldn't be as
I don't
confident.
think you would, because, like, you have a pretty good bullshit meter.
Yeah.
I think you would see through me. I'd be like, I think you'd be like, well, I don't know if I really like that person.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So when, like, did you go to therapy? How the hell did you overcome? Because it sounds like you're, like, comfortable with him not being proud of you now. He's
right.
proud, but you know he's proud of you. But no one can ever say that.
No, you know what? I don't think he is. And here's
he's not self-aware enough.
He puts so much emphasis on money and education and job status. The fact that I never went to college, I can never. I mean, that's that starting step. But because that's not there, there's no foundation available to build his pride.
Right. That's fucked up, but yeah.
So, I mean, it's tough. I've put myself into situations. It was for my 49th birthday. My birthday's on June 27th. His is on the 29th.
Okay.
He and I took a road trip to Montana together. And it was one of the worst experiences of my entire life.
Yeah, what happened? Tell me.
Oh, it was just everything. So we're in this small town that he grew up in, Big Timber, Montana. I love Big Timber, Montana. Used to. Now the people are all Trumpsters and everything.
Oh my God. He's going to be freaking out over that.
Yeah. It used to be in Big Timber, it was like, as long as you were an honest, good character person.
Okay.
We got it.
Okay.
You tip your hat, you wave to each other driving down the road. It's just how you did it. Now it's very political there.
Okay.
I mean, they've really gotten, maybe it always was and I didn't see it.
Yeah,
but
you're younger, like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're sitting there for the Main Street Parade. I mean, it's a very small town. Yeah. And I wanted a chai tea, and I do chai with soy. And I said to my dad, I go, I wonder I wonder what the odds are if I go down to this place, if I could get a soy chai. And he goes, ugh, I doubt it. Right? Like, and I'm like, maybe not. I'll go check it out. Yeah. Had I gone down there and they said, no, we don't serve soy anywhere in this town, I'd been like, cool.
Yeah. That's
no big deal.
Yeah. Who cares?
I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, I come back and there's this guy, just total stranger, sitting next to us.
Oh, no.
And he is proceeding to rip on me, wanting soy to this stranger, as though the fact that I wanted soy milk instead of regular cow's milk said something about him.
Whoa. That's some weird narcissistic shit.
Yes. As though someone would look at him less than because his daughter wanted soy milk instead of cow's milk. It's when the Women's World Cup was going on and he hates soccer. I don't know why.
They're going to be like, he hates women.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
He wanted everybody to know how much he hated soccer, to the point I almost finally stood up in the bar where I was watching, stood up. I almost did it. Had I done it, I don't know if I would have gotten a ride back. I almost stood up and said, hey, everybody, can I have your attention? This guy right here does not like soccer. And I want to make sure that everybody doesn't think he likes soccer. But I didn't do it, of course. You know, he is doing those types of things the entire trip. We drive home and we're sitting out on their back patio. I fly home the next day.
Yeah.
He's in a bad mood. No idea why. Excuse me. And he just starts ripping on me. He's like, you don't make enough money.
Oh.
You don't have a good job. Look at the house you live in. It's so small. You live poor. And I'm like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just finally letting it all out.
You're like, I lived my life for you. So basically, you lived that other life just to keep him quiet.
Maybe that's right. Maybe that's right.
Yeah.
And so I said to him, clearly money doesn't buy happiness because you have everything that you could ever want. Look at this beautiful home. You're on the 17th hole of a country club. You're highly respected. Your family, your kids and your wife and your grandson have you on a pedestal because we think you're so great. And he goes, oh yeah, right. I never see it. I said, that's your problem.
Oh my God.
You can't get out of your way. And now you've turned into a bitter old man.
You said all that?
I did.
You're like, and then I woke up from my dream.
No, I said it all.
Damn.
Yes.
And what did he do?
Well, then I just walked into the house. Well, he came in yelling and screaming. He said I called him an asshole. And then all this stuff. And I'm like, I would never say those things to you.
Yeah.
I would never say that stuff to you. And then he ended up going to bed. He ended like at 6 p.m.
Oh my God. And then that creates the worst like doomsday.
Right.
Yeah.
And I went into the room and I was like getting an Uber. I was going to go stay in a hotel. I was like, I'm done. I'm not putting up with his shit. And then my mom came in, knocked on the door. She's like, your dad went to bed. And I'm like, okay. She's like, please don't leave.
Oh my.
You and I can sit, we'll chat, whatever. So it's like,
because if you left though, she would have had to hear him talk about it for so long or be grumpy. You know?
Right. So when I'm at odds with my dad, my mom is better.
Right.
Because she can be a hero, right?
Yes.
Because then it's about her. Then she looks good.
Yes. And I'm the nice one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So then what happened after that?
So then
Did you feel relief?
A little bit. Yeah. And then the next morning he he goes, hey, sorry.
Oh.
And that was it. And then he walked out to my mom and he goes, I apologize to Sharon. I'm like, but did you? You know what I mean?
You just said sorry. Has he ever said sorry before?
No, not really. I would say probably, I don't want to say never. I'm sure he has, but that was a very rare time.
Yeah.
Very rare time. My thing is good for him.
Yeah.
But tough shit.
Yeah.
When you come at someone the way he came at me, it's kind of like you don't just get to go sorry.
Yeah. You don't.
Yeah. And it was like during COVID, he was constantly calling, do you guys need money? Do you need help? Laura's outside sales, commissioned only.
Yeah.
We've created a very nice life for ourselves down here. But when everything shut down, I mean, it literally shut down.
Yeah.
We lost all of our savings. We went through all of our savings.
Damn, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
If you want to Venmo, Sharon.
Yeah, if you need to Venmo me, please do.
Me too?
Yeah. And he kept saying, do you need money? Do you need money? Do you need money? And we're like, no.
You're not going to take that shit.
Didn't need it. Didn't need it. And it was like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, he was like, hey, why don't you guys fly up here and do this? And I was like, you know what, man? No, it must have been longer than that. Maybe 6 months ago. Because we're just getting back on our feet.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, if you want to Venmo me. No. We're just getting back on our feet. Because Laura's business got cut to 30% of what she was making.
Damn.
And yeah, it was a heavy hit for us.
That's not okay.
No. And so he says, why don't you fly up and we'll go do this? I go, Dad, I just can't afford it.
Yeah.
I can't afford it.
Yeah.
He yelled at me for 30 minutes. Then, and I mean, he's telling me like, he didn't say you're a loser, but he only didn't say you're a loser.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he goes, I can just pay for it because you know me, I always have your back. I'm like, that's not what that looks like, dude.
You're like, I just have to listen to that?
For 30 minutes of you. I should have hung up on him.
So did you go?
No.
Okay. Good.
No, fuck no.
You're like,
no.
Yeah. And,
I ain't taking it. No.
Oh my God.
And he's like, and I'm going to send you $30,000.
Did he?
He did.
Oh my
We ripped
God.
it up.
You ripped it up.
I ripped up the check.
Good for you.
Yeah. I had to rip up the check.
Good for you.
But he's like, you know me, I always got your back. I'm like, that is not what having your back looks like.
No, that's not. You don't have my emotional back. You don't have.
That's him paying for his sins.
Yes. True. Damn.
Yeah. Because we didn't ask for money.
No, you didn't the whole time.
No.
And you couldn't afford. But you knew not to.
Oh, yeah, I knew not to.
Because as soon as you take that money, he'll say, you fucking lose it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But little does he know, that's so complicated.
So complicated.
So do you still try to get him to be proud of you? What do you feel?
I no longer try to make him be proud of me.
Okay.
But it's still sad that he's not.
Yes. He's never going to be, my therapist always says this about parents. They're never going to be the parent that you want them to
Correct.
be. Yeah.
But I've also realized that it's okay to be sad about that.
Yeah.
It's okay to be sad about that because our feelings are valid.
Yes. Yeah.
And so being sad that he's not that isn't hindering me. I think denying your true feelings and emotions is hindering.
Yes, that's true.
So if I'm like, I'm sad that, he can't see this.
Yeah. And then he's always going to try
and then
take
I'm
me
over it.
down. Yeah.
Then I'm okay.
Yeah.
But I also have I do still have the moments where if FBI got made and we had a big red carpet event, I ain't fucking bringing him. Because if you can't be proud of me through the hard work. If you can't, that's the thing. The times that he has been like, oh, I'm so proud of you was after the result.
Never during it.
During when I'm like, fucking knee deep, waist deep, neck deep in the mud.
Yeah.
Walking through this. And everything. It's always beat me when you're down, beat me when I'm down, beat. And then I have a success and he'll go like, later he'll talk about it and be like, yeah, it was pretty cool. I was pretty proud of Sharon, when you did
To
this.
the
And I
other
was
people.
like, where the fuck were you? Or I'm proud of you. I'm like, where were you when I'm in the arena bloodied in battle?
Yeah.
I mean, that's when you need your posse. That's when you need your people.
When you have to have my back.
Right. When you're in that arena fighting and you're bloodied.
Do you think though, like when you said like you and Laura broke up in the relationships, like that ruined the relationship, but are you sensitive to have other people say that, like, do you ever have a neediness with her? Do you think?
With Laura?
Yeah. Has there been ever anything that you brought up?
No. And I think probably there was pre-breakup.
Yep.
But because we worked so hard on ourselves and on our relationship post-breakup, that we haven't had that. When we first got together, you asked if I went to therapy to get over this.
Yeah.
I've never been to therapy.
Crazy.
And I don't think I'm a person for therapy.
Okay.
Only because, and I know how egotistical this is going to sound.
Because you can beat people up.
Because I can beat them up. I think I read a lot of self-help.
Okay.
If I'm reading a book, it's usually something to better myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's somebody's journey. Like if I read Yes, Please by Amy Poehler.
Right.
To me, I consider that almost a self-help book because I listen to people's journeys and their lessons and see how I can apply it. So I think I'm a little more ahead of the game. So if I walked into a therapist, I'd be like, okay, listen. Here's the neurons that have been created in my brain from what happened to me. And this is what I've done to sever those neural nets. And you know what I mean? So I feel like, and plus I have really good friends who are pretty smart in that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think also the biggest step is to like stop your automatic reaction to make that person proud. That's like the biggest thing is if you were still like, that could have really taken you down. But you
Here
kept going.
was my biggest lesson. My biggest lesson that helped me with this. It was never his problem. It was always mine.
I hate that. I only hate it because my therapist says it. It's always like, I don't give a fuck about them.
Right.
It's you and how you, but like, you're right. It is so hard.
It is so hard. He never said, you better make me proud of you.
Yes.
I put that on myself.
Yes.
He never climbed on top of that pedestal. Yeah. I put him there.
Yes.
And so it was always me. But once I realized that, then I realized it was also only me that could fix it.
Damn. What was the moment? How old were you when you realized that? And was there a self-help book that made you realize that?
So I had a rock bottom.
Okay.
And so you ask like, what was the moment? I think like some of the stuff that I'm saying, it's more of a wave versus a drop. I'm like, oh, it was this moment. But I had a rock bottom 12 years ago, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Where I was just like Laura and I were back together.
Okay.
But I was still trying to be who I wasn't, And
could you just like describe that person a little bit of when you're being who you was when you weren't?
Sure. I was still corporate.
Okay.
So,
but was your personality different?
My personality was different because I was very angry.
Okay. I
was very angry.
And you were not like
I'm not an angry person.
No.
I was pretty negative.
Okay.
Not a negative person. Yeah. Because I always had this kind of warrior mentality, you know? I'm like, I need to be more zen. Maybe that's my problem.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe I was trying to be very peaceful, very zen-y, and that's just not me.
You were like,
like
numbing out.
Right. Nama, totally stay in bed and, watch some sports type thing. Okay. So that was me. So because of this, and I remember I just flat hit bottom. And I can get depressed. I called you that. Remember that time
Yeah.
I called you and I said I was 2 candy bars and a bottle of wine
Yeah.
in. Right?
You were really depressed.
Yeah. And that moment took me maybe a day to get over.
Right.
I was going on to like 2 or 3 weeks of this.
Bedridden.
Not bedridden, but
like,
really going through the motions.
Okay.
I mean, just going through the motions and just like grumpy and just awful.
Yeah.
And my friend, one of my dearest, best friend, Heidi, I remember talking to her, and we were in Sacramento at the time. She lives in Santa Cruz. She said, just come down and let us take care of you. You need to come, let us take care of you. And so I said something to Laura, and she goes, go.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
So I drove down there, and I remember we got there. I got to her house, and we were going to go. She and some other friends were going to go do an open water swim. She's like, do you want to do the swim? And I'm like, no. And I just remember like sitting there this whole time, like, is she going to say something? Is she going to talk? Is she going to make me talk? When's it, Yeah. And we're driving in the car, and I just start crying.
Yeah.
Not loud, just tears start coming down. And she just reached over and she just like kind of touched my leg, and she's like, I'm really glad you're here. And that was it. That was it. We go the whole weekend, and she says at the end of the weekend, she goes, I know you're sitting here waiting to know when we're going to talk. And she goes, we don't have to say anything. And I'm like, I have to say something because I can't go back. I don't feel like I'm going to be different if I go home.
Yes.
And so I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. And she's like, what do you mean? And I just started talking about essentially like, I don't know how to be.
Whoa.
I don't know how to be. I don't know how to be Sharon. I don't know. I cry super easy. If I'm happier than a 7 or 8, I'll cry. If I'm sadder than a 3, I'll cry.
Right.
So between 3 and 7 is my safe zone, right? Anything over or under a 3 or 7, I got tears in my eyes, right?
Okay.
And I felt that as being weak, and I can't be weak. So then we go back and say, well, Sharon, I can beat you up. I'm Sharon, I can beat you up. We say, where did that come from? Maybe I always needed that.
Yes.
Because if I didn't have that warrior mentality that I can fight through this, I'm tough, then they would have knocked me down.
Right.
They would have put me in my place.
Yeah.
But because I had that mentality, maybe every time they knocked me down, I was enough to be able to still be in the arena, still be bloodied, still be sweaty, and still stand up.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
So to me, someone who cries over a 7 or under a 3 is weak.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned that vulnerability is a strength and not a weakness. And once I learned that, and that was something that Heidi and I talked about, once we talked and I realized that vulnerability is a strength, it is not a weakness, that's when my life started changing.
Damn.
That's when it started changing. Because that's what made me allowed to say, it disappoints me and it saddens me that I can't make my dad proud of me. But that's okay.
Yeah.
But that's okay. And I can be right.
And you can be sad.
Or I can be happy.
Right.
But I can't be both.
You can be sad.
I know. Jesus,
like,
have you learned nothing? We
No,
talked about this motto
I know,
early.
you can be better, you can be happy, but you can, but the thing is about being safe and you can still be happy when you're sad.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. I can be sad about this piece.
Yeah.
But happy in my life.
Yes.
And then you can deal with this sadness. But
Yes.
if you're sad about this piece and this and this and this and this and this and this and this,
Damn.
you're fucked.
Yeah.
Then you're 3 months in, you're 250 pounds, you're drinking a bunch and you're smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's when it was like, that was my moment. And when she gave me permission to be however I was, That's when I started really living my life.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Heidi
she saved my life. I tell her that all the time.
Wow. Shout out to Heidi.
Oh, I love her. I would do anything for this woman.
You check her box.
I would check her box, except that I love her husband, Mark.
Hey,
Also,
it's all right. Well,
but it was her and it was Marisol. Marisol also, huge impact on my life with that as well. Because they're very much Marisol, Heidi, Trish Ward, and Gina. Those are if you can have one of those 4 types of people in your life, then you should consider yourself incredibly lucky.
But if you don't,
that's because of you, not because of them.
Oh,
because you're not ready.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe you're not ready
to have that breakthrough,
to have that honesty, to have that, I love Marisol because Marisol's like, she doesn't take any of my shit.
Yeah.
She takes none of my shit. I'll tell you that right now. It is the best. Like, people go, are you ever worried? Did you get a big head? I'm like, no.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, you're like my dad, but in a nice way.
But in the best way possible, right?
Yeah,
because it's like very much like that is so amazing and excited for me.
Yeah.
But then I'll jokingly brag about something and they're like,
okay. Yeah. Well, that's a great ending. Like, that's a great lesson.
Yeah.
But you still didn't say the self-help book you like the most.
There isn't one. Right now I'm reading, Trish gave it to me, and it's called something like How to Be a Monk or Becoming a Monk. Okay. And my friend said, you're way too loud to be a monk. But it was really fun. It's a great book.
Okay.
I would highly recommend it. I love Brene Brown.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
She has a whole YouTube, just YouTube Brene Brown.
If you need
vulnerability.
Okay.
And it's a TED Talk.
Okay. Because I was like, I want, not all of us have a Marisol or a Trish or all these people you're naming that we don't know who they are.
Right.
But we gotta have other outlets. Yeah.
Yes. Amy Poehler's Yes, Please.
Yeah.
And I listen to her experiences and get an understanding of stuff. I listen to anything where people overcome stuff. I listen to that and figure out how. But I would go first book. I would do this Becoming a Monk.
Okay.
It's very interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Well, thank you. I want to know.
You. This was so fun.
This has been long enough for you. It's been over an hour and a half.
An hour and a half?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, I don't want you to get a ticket either, though.
No, I feel like the podcast lasted longer than my drive.
That's great. That's all we wanted.
That's fair. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you have anything you want to plug to them?
Follow me on social media.
Talk to them.
Follow me on social media.
Okay.
S. Fredrickson on Instagram and TikTok. It might be S. Fredrickson 1. You'll find me. Watch me on People vs. Food on YouTube. And I'm ready to announce it's still new.
Okay.
Follow me on social media for more information. I'm starting my own YouTube channel called Let's Do This with Sharon Fredrickson, where I will go around and do basically reviews on restaurants, reviews on experiences, things like that. And it's like, I'll roll up my sleeve and let's do this.
Are you going to get the Ricker to do one?
Oh, absolutely not. No,
Could you review my current life?
Oh yeah, right? No. I'm not doing that. I'm going to set myself back 5 years. Let's do this.
I'll put her Venmo below. Mine too. All the links will be below. I'm Nikki Bond on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my friend. I love you so much.
I did not know you were so fucked up from your dad because you have so much confidence. So this was great.
I know.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.